Hey, I'm Emily and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to show you a New Year's Eve DIY you can make using your Cricut and some basic craft supplies. I'm going to show you how to make photo props and drink stirrers like these. So if that's something you're interested in, just keep watching and I'm going to get right into it. So of course my first stop is Michael's to pick up some glitter cardstock. I did a combination of black, gold, champagne, and silver, and I also mixed between fine glitter and more of a thick glitter. I'm also picking up a pack of these Cricut brand gold pens. And just look how beautiful the cardstock is. The gold pens are felt and glitter, so one is more of a felt tip and one is a glitter pen. So I'm going to be testing both of these out just to see which one looks better against the black paper. So, going into Design Space, these are all the designs that I have made already. The top section here, I have all of my props, and then for the drink stirrers, I have the little disco ball and the sparkle down at the bottom. So I have everything united and then grouped together. Everything is already sized to what I want it to be. So I'm going to go up to make and just look at all the mats and make sure that everything looks okay. And it looks like there's a few colors that don't really match up. So I'm gonna hit cancel and go over to color sync. And I'm dragging the star into the gray disco balls and you can see that it changes color. So now they should all be the same color. Alright, so that looks good. Next step is I have to test the pens. So I'm gonna use the same font just to keep it consistent. I'm going to type test 1 and also test 2 for the two different types of pens. Make sure the operation type is pen, and then I'm going to add a square go underneath it so my Cricut will write and then it'll cut. I'm going to browse all materials and choose medium cardstock with default pressure. So now I just got to turn on my Cricut. The first pen I'm trying is the felt tip pen, so I'm going to load that into clamp A, place the black piece of paper onto my mat, and load that into the Cricut so it can do its thing. And once that one's complete, I'm going back into Design Space. I just need to unhide the test 2 and hide test 1 and attach both of them. And I'm going to do the same thing. Go back to make, same exact thing, same process, just with a different pen. So I'm loading the glitter pen into my Cricut now. And this is how they look. I think the glitter pen would probably do best on white paper. It's very, very, very faint and more glittery, while the other one is more opaque and it's also pretty reflective. Now I have to actually cut everything out. I'm using a light grip mat just because if I use the standard grip mat, it may rip off the backing of my cardstock and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to risk ruining it. So I'm using a light grip mat. And I'm going to start with the black paper that I'm using the pen operation on just to get that out of the way. So like before, my Cricut is writing and then it's cutting everything out. So I cut these little disco balls with the plain black paper. It cut through most of the way, but I had to kind of like poke out all these little squares. So that was a little time consuming. I had originally tried the disco balls with black glitter because I'm like, oh, like glitter. It's like, you know, I'm using silver glitter and black glitter, like that'd be so pretty. But it totally ripped off the glitter, so that didn't work out. For all the glitter cardstock, I used the glitter cardstock material with more pressure. When your Cricut is cutting like a thick cardstock like this, it actually says it cuts 2 passes, so it's gonna go around the whole thing twice. Once my Cricut is done cutting, before I remove the mat from my Cricut, I always like to check that it's cut through. So here I'm just taking my weeding tool and I'm trying to like move the cardstock to see if it's cut. It is not cut all the way through. So a quick tip, if your Cricut did not cut your material all the way through the first time, as long as you don't remove your mat from your Cricut, you just leave it inserted and you hit the cut button again. So immediately after it cuts, you notice that, oh, it didn't cut all the way through. You don't unload the mat and you just press the cut button and it will actually cut again at the same pressure and the same exact location. So now that I cut it twice, you can see that it is actually cut through. And I'm flipping my mat upside down and removing the cardstock that way so I don't bend it. This is after the second cut, and it cut all the way. I'm repeating the same process with the champagne and the black cardstock. Just gotta cut everything out. Once everything's all cut out, I had to fill in the Happy New Year with the pen because there was like a few spots that weren't completely filled in, no big deal. And then I have to start assembling all of the cardstock together. So I'm just using this clear gel glue to glue everything together. I'm just really pressing down to make sure that it is flat, and I'm setting that aside so that one can dry, and I'm moving on to the next one. I actually, for some of them, I wound up using my brayer tool to flatten it, and it actually worked. I had to be very gentle so I didn't like mess up the design, but it actually like, instead of using my hands and getting glue all over my hands, it worked pretty well. Okay, so once I fully assemble all of the cardstock, I let that dry. It's time to add the sticks. I bought these acrylic sticks from Amazon. I'll link them in the description below. But you could honestly use like any form of long stick. It doesn't have to be these acrylic ones. I just like them personally, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the best area to place the stick on. I'm just trying to get like the most cardstock on the stick because I think it's going to be more secure that way. But I also want it to look kind of normal and not look weird. So I'm just applying the same glue that I used before onto the back of the cardstock and pressing the stick right on there, making sure that it's straight. And when it gets in a position that I want, I'm applying just a little bit more of that glue over top of the entire stick. And I'm setting that aside to let it dry. I'm just repeating the process with all of them. And it's the same exact process for the drink stirrers. I also bought these stirrers from Amazon. These are what mine look like, but again, you could use like whatever you have at home. So yeah, same thing. This was really satisfying. The disco balls are probably my favorite, even though like they were like the most lengthy one. I feel like they had the most satisfying payoff. I let these dry overnight, so probably like 8 hours, and the next morning they were completely dry. I have picked them up, put them down, used them like throughout the day, and they haven't broken, they haven't bent. They're like in really good shape. As long as you're not too rough with them, they definitely should hold up throughout the night. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to follow me on other socials, the link is down below. And if you want to watch more crafting content from me, just subscribe to my channel and you'll get notified when I post a new video. And Happy New Year! I hope everyone has a healthy and safe holiday, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!